Peace, family. It's your girl TiTi from TiTi Talks. Glad to be behind the mic again and bring you some more bomb content. Make sure you like my Facebook page, TiTi Talks. Make sure that you're following me on Twitter at MSTT Talks or IG at TiTi Talks. Make sure that you're subscribed to my YouTube channel, TiTi Talks. And make sure that you're subscribed to me on SoundCloud. And make sure that you're sharing all the content that you're enjoying. All right. And shout out to everybody who hit me up about my prior show, episode 15, with TiTi, the Wild African, at the Sweatshop Gym in ATL. Yo, if you missed that episode, make sure you run that episode back after you listen to this one on TiTiTalks.com. There's also a dope video of the entire episode on YouTube. Just put in TiTi Talks and TiTi episode 15, TiTi Talks, something like that. You'll be able to find it. If you know one of us, you know that the show was good. But if you know both of us, you know that that show is magic. Feel me? I'm also going to play a little message from TiTi after our Sagittarius party in ATL earlier this month. So here's what the Wild African has to say about TiTi Talk.
I just want to be on it again and again and again. Y'all don't even know what y'all missing. Y'all ain't watching, y'all know what you missing. TiTi motherfucking couch. You better get on it. Cause y'all be like, oh, the shit y'all talk about to next year, it already happened on 5 episodes ago. The stuff we talk about in 2019, we talk about in 2018.
That's fact.
Fact. We tried to told y'all.
Trying to tell you it was on episode 9.
We tried to tell you. We tried to told y'all.
Tried to told y'all.
Hello?
Oh, man. And ladies and gentlemen, that is why he is called the Wild African. Also, next weekend in DC, TiTi will be hosting the return concert for Five the Hard Way weekend. Listen, if you are in the DMV area next weekend, December 29th and 30th, get your life. Because on Saturday, December 29th, the original members of West African Drum and Dance Ensemble, Farafina Khan, will be presenting their return concert. It's going to be amazing, y'all. And if you are in the area, I suggest that you go on Sunday, December 30th. The 9th annual Five the Hard Way West African Dance Marathon will be taking place. It is a 7-hour cultural marathon celebrating family and community, and it is amazing. And it's an amazing way to start your new year. There's going to be drumming, there's going to be dancing, there's going to be vendors, there's going to be all kind of dope merchandise. It's all about community, it's all about family and good vibes, all that. So you already know I'm going to be in the building. Dancing ain't really my ministry, and I'm also recovering from a minor knee injury, but I'm going to be in there with my solidarity clap and spin. And I hope to see y'all too. So go to www.5, that's the number 5, thehardway.com. It has all the info there for you to be able to enjoy a fantastic weekend. All right. In other news, as usual, the United States is loud and late to the Human Rights Party finally making lynching a federal crime. The Justice for Victims of Lynching Act was introduced by Senators Kamala Harris, Cory Booker, and Tim Scott.
Lynching was used as an instrument of terror and intimidation 4,084 times during the late 19th and 20th centuries. These lynchings were acts of violence. They were needless and horrendous acts of violence, and they were motivated by racism.
For over a century, members of Congress all have attempted to pass some version of a bill that would recognize lynching for what it is, a bias-motivated act of terror. Today, Senator Harris and I are requesting that after a century, after 100 years, and over 200 different bills introduced in this body, that we finally make lynching a federal crime in the United States of America.
The Senate unanimously approved a bill that declares lynching a federal crime in the United States. And it's a damn shame that that is happening in 2018. But it's important because just a few days prior to that, I was infuriated by a Facebook Live post by my brother Baye Kemet about his son Azikiwe Kemet, who is a junior at Hopewell Valley Central High School in Mercer County, New Jersey, outside of Trenton. One of his classmates, Jeffrey Hobson, on his Snapchat page put, "Sup niggas, who wants to be lynched?" and then called Azikiwe out by name and called him a monkey. So, of course, my brother was infuriated about it, and he shared this story on social media. He shared it on news outlets. He shared it to, people in the community, and his outspokenness about it put him in Facebook jail for like 24 hours. School district officials have asked Brother Baye to tone down his tenor on Facebook when it was Jeffrey who was the one who was putting violent language on his social media. Jeffrey has since been suspended, and we all know the historical precedents of lynching in the United States. This is why the Senate had to just, bring a bill through to declare lynching a federal crime in the United States. And if you've ever read the book Without Sanctuary, Lynching Photography in America, you would understand why this is so pressing. Another sister of mine, Dr. Tamika Bradley Hobbs, she wrote a very powerful book called Democracy Abroad, Lynching at Home, Racial Violence in Florida. That is also a good pickup on some historical information regarding lynching in the United States. So this is not something that needs to be swept under the rug. This is not something that needs to be hushed. This is something that needs to be spoken about, and corrective action needs to be made, because literally lives are being threatened. This is a threat, because lynching is a murderous activity. Had he made a bomb threat, it would be a wrap. Whole school would be shut down. But everybody's asking for the family of the victim to be quiet, to hush, to not speak up on it, and that's not right at all. So Kim and family, I support you. I stand in support with you. TiTi stands in support with you. So I just wanted to get the word out. Y'all, Google this incident, because it's all in Google. There's articles about it. Please share it and let people know this is unacceptable. Then we have high school wrestling referee Alan Maloney forcing high school student and wrestler Andrew Johnson to either cut his locks or forfeit the match. And this also happened in New Jersey. And that child had to make the decision to either compete or get his hair cut in front of everybody. And he got his hair cut in front of everybody. How humiliating is that? I mean, if you understand the magnitude of this, check out filmmaker Ava DuVernay's tweet where she said, I don't just wear a lock. They're a part of me, a gift to me. They mean something to me. So to watch this young man's ordeal wrecked me. Listen, I feel that, because I wore locks for 7 years. I'm actually thinking about growing them back again. And I understand the pride and sacredness and just the cultural awareness of that process. And so my heart goes out to Andrew. Hopefully he saved them, and there's a loctician in the area who can work some magic and reattach them. That is a thing, people. And Alan Maloney should never referee another match again. The end. This is why we need to take care of ourselves. Dealing with these macro and microaggressions on a constant basis, it wreaks havoc on our minds, on our bodies, on our spirit. And that's why myself and 3 other beautiful sisters took a trip up to the Georgia-Tennessee border in the Blue Ridge Mountains to decompress and to hashtag share, shed, grow. We held serious court, and we had a fantastic dialogue just about life, about self-love, self-care. Y'all are going to love this show, because I love making this show. So sit back. I want you to relax. Let's talk about self-care. Let's talk about really starting 2019 in a positive light, getting our minds and spirits together. Peace. Peace, family. It's your girl TiTi from TiTi Talks. Hey. I'm in the house with my sisters. Hey. We are up in the mountains.
We out here.
Blue Ridge Mountains. We're in the Blue Ridge Mountains, dedicating this weekend to self-care, to self-worth, to self-getting our shit together.
Yes, all the way.
All the way. The way. Getting our lives together. Yes. Because that's very important, and it's important for men and women, but I'm really kind of focusing on women here. All of my gentlemen podcasters who are listening, y'all should really do a show on self-care. Okay?
Okay.
Great. Because I'm not in the position to speak on men, like in a very deep, intimate way. I prefer the men to speak on man things. And so I'm just giving that disclaimer so that the men folk don't feel left out. Be like, hey man, women. Hey, men folk, get you a retreat together with your bros. You know what I'm saying? In y'all way, because it ain't gonna look like how we look like. Y'all probably don't really care about no hot tub. I don't know, maybe. I don't know. I don't know. We getting on up there, so y'all knees ain't right either. So
Right.
y'all used to play football and basketball and baseball and all that stuff. So
soccer no more.
You know what I'm saying? But self-care is important for y'all, and I would just like to, maybe I can have that conversation with a man at another time about self-care for men folk. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Shout out to the men folk. Hey, men folk. And men, I'm just telling you right now, when your woman has a good self-care regimen, that boils over onto y'all.
Yes,
it does.
If she don't got no good self-care regimen, your household is going to be a mess. Emotionally, it's not going to be well. It's not going to be right. So, definitely assist her in creating this so that she can create the space to be able to have her own self-care regimen so that she can, get her own personal goals together. I was thinking about, I wish I could remember this guy's name, but it's so irrelevant to me that I really don't even care to remember his name. But the pastor who was talking about how the kind of what he put his women.
John Gray.
Is that his name?
Yes.
Lord.
He's been on the internet all
right. And I did not want to talk about this, but then I kind of did because I read some comments in Facebook land that had me a little concerned.
No.
So, there was also a lot of things that I saw on the internet that was very exciting for me too, because women are starting to perk up like, okay, this isn't healthy for me. You know what I'm saying? What he said. Let me find this quote. Hold on. What you say?
Say births.
John Gray.
He was birthed. Something about being birthed by his wife.
And
wife birthed him second child.
It was troubling because the way he spoke on it was as if it was, this badge of honor, and it was troubling because, yes, of course, in marriage, we should be forced to grow, right? Mm-hmm. We should grow together, but essentially reciprocity is key. There should not be one person, enduring, being terrorized or, and it's not saying that he terrorized his wife, but
he did. I'm gonna say it. That's
there should not be one
trauma, yo.
Yeah, there should not be one person bearing the entire burden of what should be a partnership. Yeah. And growth and evolution being birthed out of this partnership. There should not be one adult birthing another adult that should have came there
as a full person.
Whole, as a full person. Yeah. Someone shared on Instagram, what is her name? I follow her. Jessie Wu. She shared a quote. Sea stars. Sea stars. She shared a quote from Becoming by Michelle Obama about her initial attraction to Barack Obama was he presented himself as a whole person. He was, complete. And, I haven't read the book yet, but I'm looking forward to reading it soon. But yeah, we gotta be whole people, attract whole people. Yeah. And then just continue to encourage each other to remain whole, to create a healthy, not a toxic.
And I get so annoyed when men are so guilty of this sometimes. Women are too, but I hear this a lot from men where they be like, I ain't perfect. Well, you perfect too. Nobody's perfect. But what's wrong with striving for perfection? Right. What's wrong with that? There's nothing wrong with that. Are you going to hit the mark all the time? No. But you should have really, really, really solid and high standards for yourself. Yes. Particularly if you follow the ideology of like a man being a leader. Where in the hell are you going to lead her if she's birthing you? Mm-hmm. Right. Where are you going to take her? You can't take her nowhere. Mm-hmm. This cat said his wife endured more pain birthing him than their children. And I'm a doula.
Right.
I'm a doula. I have witnessed dozens of births,
including mine,
including yours, and so I don't understand firsthand the pain of labor and delivery because I don't have children yet. But being an empath and being in that presence and knowing what women go through throughout an entire pregnancy, and to bring children here and then everything that comes after the birth, knowing that, and then he's just like casually saying,
right,
yeah, I was harder than that. It's like, bruh,
right.
This is serious. Like, what is she, mommy 2.0? No,
I was kind of disappointed in the host reaction also to what he said. It was kind of like they celebrated.
Yeah, she was egging it on, like she was just boosting it up. But I mean, if that is your orientation towards relationships, sometimes toxic things seem like a good idea.
Yeah, that's problematic.
Toxic things look like a good idea when you're like immersed in toxicity all the time, you know. And we all know that the church in general is a very hierarchical, you know, patriarchal, male-centered environment, and so along with other Abrahamic traditions. And so if you're in that, then of course what they said looks good because, you know, he's a man, he's a leader, and he's a pastor, you know what I'm saying? And so it's got to be good. And then when you're somebody who is a master with words, you know, pastors are masters with words. They're masterful. They practice that.
They do.
From the time they were little children. I know people who are pastors now who I grew up with, and they came here with that, like the oratory tradition. You know what I'm saying? It's a gift. And so
I'm a PK. So.
When you have right. So when you have that gift, somebody can wrap shit up in sugar and it be so sweet. You know what I'm saying?
At first.
And then several children down the line when you're emotionally drained and messed up. You know what I'm saying? But, you know, I ain't gonna talk about them people. I don't know them people like that. I'm just saying I see patterns. And, you know, sometimes when I remember we had the same thing with the Toby Wade video with his current wife, his now wife, Fat, when they were talking about their story, how they met and how they came, and he literally was like, when I first met her, I didn't want her, and I told her I did not want her. And she continued to pursue him. Even though he told her explicitly, I don't want you. I'm not interested in you. No, it's not that I'm not interested in a relationship right now. I'm open to a relationship right now. I just don't want one with you. Like, this is what he says it. He says it. You know what I'm saying? And she co-signs it. She was like, yeah, that's what happened. And he even said, I would not recommend that. He even said I wouldn't recommend that. You know what I'm saying?
I don't know what made him have a change of heart, but he
I don't know.
Got his life together.
I'm thinking like, hey, maybe it was an ancestral thing. Yeah. It may have been an ancestral thing, but like from patterns and what we know and what we see, a lot of the women that I know was like, you know,
I'm not gonna lie, but I know I was on that post and I was like, if you not hell yell about me, then it's no.
What?
It's a no. It's a no.
Why would you not get with somebody that doesn't adore you?
You got to know. You got to be clear about what Okovie is.
I'm trying to remember that.
If you're not trying to be with Okovie, then
and it worked out for them.
I remember at the time I had thoughts on it. I'm trying to remember. I think I was just. I think with marriage, you know, everybody's marriage is their own, and
that's true.
I think the way that their story began, you know, was kind of different from, you know, it's not something that I would have been open to, but I think kind of where it took them, you know, it seemed to take them to, you know, a beautiful place where, you know, he grew in that love, and I think for some people, I think that's okay. You know, that process occurs, you know, in different ways and on, you know, different timing that, you know, kind of allows it to evolve into its own thing. And they seem to have a really deep level of understanding between the two of them.
Right.
And so I think I saw some people say, well, she seems just like a groupie that he married, or, and I didn't get that vibe at all.
Right.
And so
he found his mind. I don't know how.
Yeah.
He found
I certainly probably would have walked away. He probably wouldn't have had a chance to fix his mouth to tell me what he didn't want. But because I probably would have already been gone.
Right.
But it worked for them.
My brother Yao came on and he was just like, what works for one couple may not work for another couple, and vice versa. Right. They seem to be in a good space now. He came to the realization, even after he told her he didn't want to be with her, got with her for a couple months, then dumped her.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
And then she got her own self together.
She did.
She went and pursued her own interests. I'm sure she had her own little self-care regimen, pursued her own goals, and they were able to meet back up together. And I wish them the best.
I think it's also about divine timing. It might have not have been the timing for them to see eye to eye at the time when they first initially met. But, over time, I think he found his mind. He's like, oh, wow, she's got my back. Mm-hmm. And this is somebody who I want in my corner. So he figured it out.
Yeah, I think it's pretty dope to have a, kind of have that cerebral experience of falling in love where it's not this enchanted feeling, right? And then, down the line, you're looking for that feeling again of that enchantment, from the beginning. And, they won't have to necessarily worry about searching for that because it's something that they, grew into and went into intentionally, with logic and ration, instead of, just kind of like, oh, this feels great, And so she's got a husband who, was intentional about her with his thoughts and his intentions. And so I think that's pretty dope.
Yeah. Now, one good thing I can really say about that is once they reconvened, she knew he was an honest man.
Yeah.
Yes.
Because
he was honest from front.
Because from jump,
there we go.
He told her.
From jump.
Yo. He told her. And she was honest with him from jump.
And that's rare.
As soon as she met him, she was like, you're it, I want to be with you.
That's rare. What they have in terms of how they oriented themselves and about being honest about where they were, that is very rare. And so that's something to kind of look at.
I'm excited. They're on tour right now.
Yeah, we just missed them.
We missed them Thursday night.
I wanted to see them, but I had committed to my sister girls, and so we in the cabins. But we'll catch them.
And that schoolwork.
Oh, we won't talk about
you so committed
till midnight.
You're so studious.
You committed.
My tribe is amazing. I was typing my paper up until like 11:20, trying to get a lab report done. But they held me down and they were with me. So we got to the cabins about Thursday. It was Friday early
morning. 2?
1, 2 in the morning.
Yeah. It was kind of scary. It was dark as hell.
It was dark, but we made
it. I had to get out of the car and open that gate. I was like, if something jump out of these bushes.
We made it out here though, so I'm grateful for my tribe.
We're out in the mountains. We're out in the mountains. I'm about to go live in a minute, actually.
Oh, sweet.
Hey, so I'm hooking up the technology so we can go live up in this thing.
Okay.
It's gonna be awesome. But I'm despite my critique and commentary, I'm excited about Black love.
Yes.
I'm happy for Black folks making the conscious decision to get together and stay together. Even though I'm kind of indifferent on marriage, and I got into interesting.
Don't say that.
Yo, I am indifferent, but I'm not against it. I got into an interesting conversation with somebody.
I'm married and I'm indifferent
towards. Listen, that's
so
real.
Kalena's the only married person out of the four of us.
Yeah,
it's not. It's not something that I think is the end game. I think we look at marriage so much as like this life requirement, and I don't think that that's healthy for our community because everybody has their place and everybody has the opportunity to create what they think their life should look like.
And I had a conversation on Facebook about that where I kind of was talking about how I think it's a wonderful institution. Like, I was raised in a marriage. I was raised around marriages. Like, my grandparents are all alive and they're still married, and so there's over 100 years of marriage between my grandparents.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying? I've been immersed in marriage my whole life, so I think the sister who kind of wasn't really understanding, and it was very respectful. It was just like, she was like, why would people willingly choose to, because the conversation started, let me go back to the beginning. I think Nefertari put up a post about how people think that it's too big of a commitment to marry someone, but co-parenting, why would you not think that that's just a big of a commitment? You know what I'm saying? And so my view was like, it's not really a more or less conversation for me. I can't speak on nobody else, but it's not really a more or less. But some people come here knowing that they want to be parents, and some people are a little bit indifferent about being a spouse. Should you not be a parent because you don't want to be a spouse? You see what I mean? And then that brings a conversation, well, why would you willingly want to be a single parent? It's like, why would you automatically think people would be single parents if they weren't married? There are co-parents.
Right.
People parent children all the time.
Yeah, they do.
And they're not married.
And they definitely are two different roles.
Sure. And I know single parents who are married. You know what I'm saying? If he's in the military, or she is in the military, or, if, they have a job that requires them to be away for long periods of time, or if you're just in a funk and just emotionally unavailable, and the other person has to carry the load. You know what I'm saying? So single parenthood, and but I'm also very sensitive to this because I know a lot of people who are single parents who are really, really, really desiring a partner, because it's hard. Raising kids is hard. Being married is hard. Neither one of those things are easy, and not in the least. I don't trivialize that at all. You know what I'm saying? So it was an interesting conversation. I was just bringing that up because it was just, the sister was very, it was almost like she was offended. How dare you bring children here and not in marriage? How dare you? But I get it, because she has had experience in both spaces. She has been a single mother. She also is married, and so she's able to contrast in a different way than I was, and I appreciated that for her. I even told her, I said, that makes me understand your perspective a lot better. You know what I'm saying? And so I wasn't negating the sister at all, but I just thought it was interesting how people automatically jump to that, and I think certain people can pull it off. I'm exceptional, baby. I'm exquisite. That's the word for the weekend. We have
determined that we are exquisite creatures.
Y'all better. Y'all better.
As such.
I was going to speak on that really quick because, I've been a single mom and now I'm married with even more children. They just kept coming.
It's four of them.
Come on, Sharon.
I think that those are two totally different roles, sometimes conflicting roles. It's hard to be a spouse while you're in the thick of parenting, and I don't necessarily see a problem with if someone is intentional about wanting to be a parent. That's a whole different set of skills and requirements than being a spouse, and so you can choose, if that's something you want to do or not. Or there's people who love each other and are together but are not married but have children, and make that decision. And so, marriage is it's a thing. Like it's a trip, being having someone else who has these requirements of you, that you've, and not so much that person has requirements of you, but that you told that person, I understand these requirements, and yes, I plan to do this from now until forever. Like, that's a huge commitment. And it's a daily, all day, every day commitment. And I don't really fault people who know, hey, I want to have children, but I'm not ready, I'm not prepared to make that type of commitment to another adult of, what those requirements are. And, I've seen kind of some debate online about, are you responsible for your spouse's happiness? And so that's not what I'm talking about with requirements. I think we are responsible for our own happiness. You just have to not muck up your spouse's situation, you know, of whatever their happiness might be. But yeah, it's totally possible to co-parent, you know, within or outside of the confines of marriage, I think. But, you know, being married and having kids, it's fun. It is a lot of days.
That's a good day.
That's a lot of times it is fun. It's
assessment.
It's exciting. You know, it's a lot of excitement. A lot of you're never lonely. You know? Right. So, and my kids are a blast. They're just
They
crazy.
are a blast. All of them.
So yeah, it's cool. It's cool. But you know, everybody has their own opinion on it.
Yeah.
I'm single. I don't have an opinion on it.
But at the same time, you know, here and look at me. And here I am, like, yeah, it's fun, it's exciting, and I done ran away to the Blue Ridge Mountains.
I couldn't get away from it.
But I think that's what sometimes make it healthy as well. You know when you need your time.
Yeah, before I jump back in.
I'm so grateful for people who, like, I'm not business headed in that way. Like, my head is not. Like, I'm so oriented to care and heal and work with people. And sometimes I think, like, man, money is important, but, like, business is not my bag. That's not my bag. And I know it's important for what I want to do overall in my life, but to have people in my back pocket that I can just call and be like, okay, look, help me how to organize and figure out how to do that business stuff. Like, that is so, to have that is so key. Like, I know that I will never be that business-minded person, but I know that I can pull on my immediate resources and really talk to people who just are expert. Like, Nadia is an expert at that. And it's something like, oh, dang, I really admire that, but I'm not that interested in it. But knowing that I need that and I have somebody I can connect with and say, boom, that's where I can get those tools, that's priceless, you know? So, yeah, just good friends who are diverse in their understanding and their expertise. That is priceless.
You could kind of say it is business-minded to know when to reach out. You know, to know who you need to surround yourself with, who you need to reach out and connect with. It's a part of being business-minded. Even if you don't
it's so funny,
know
like
the ins and outs.
But you tend to gravitate towards people who are like you. So, like, I have a lot of therapist friends. I have a lot of friends who are in human services. But I have, like, one of my best friends is an engineer. I need scientists in my life.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I need people who, like, finance it. I think it's a bore. But when I tell you it's one of the most essential things that you have to kind of learn, you need it. You need it. You can't just be out here helping people that don't know how to manage your money. So you hemorrhaging on a certain piece, you know what I'm saying, certain aspect. So it's like, you have to have that. So for me, I feel like I'm completely and just utterly blessed to have people who have that type
it's a blessing.
Yeah.
I mean, because the conversation that we had earlier this morning, I feel like Nadia really got us both, you know, back on track for what we need to be doing. And it was just a simple conversation we had over breakfast, which, you know, that was my thought when I reached out to y'all initially, because I had seen a conference, you know, for like a retreat, you know, like a large retreat focused on women of color, and I was like, you know, this isn't really feasible for me right now, because it was probably like $3,000, something like that, you know, 4 kids. That's just not really feasible to drop $3,000 on like a weekend. I was like, but dang, you know, I kind of have some dope friends who, you know, we can get away and just pour into each other and walk away, you know, kind of with that same level of rejuvenation that you can, you know, what you would expect going to like a large conference. And so, you know, to be able to just sit down and have breakfast this morning and, you know, talk about those financial tidbits.
You have to have a tribe that feeds you that way. Yeah, I know it's not common. You gotta know that's your blessing. You know what I mean? You gotta know that's a blessing.
Yes, and it's unique. I mean,
it's very, very unique. But you know, FAMU / Florida State.
No shade, Nadia.
No shade, but FAMU taught us that you network. That's what your gift. That is priceless. That's what FAMU taught me.
Yeah,
Like,
and Tallahassee, you know, the lifestyle we were able to have as young adults, you know, in that very unique city, I think kind of gifted us now these relationships, this tribe, you know, that we can reach out to and say, hey, let's go to the mountains for a weekend.
Right.
You know, and to now be sitting here and, you know, kind of reflecting on the last couple of days of what we've been able to just accomplish, just breathing. Ooh, that 2-hour nap I had today was
jacuzzi.
Everything.
That jacuzzi yesterday, last night. That conversation this morning that just was like, I can refocus my energy. I know what to do when I leave here. Like, to have a blueprint. Like, who does that? Like, comes to the crew and you have breakfast, dope breakfast, by the way, with potatoes that are like made out of
Adrian,
Stardust
those potatoes
and like quiche to die for. You know what I'm saying? Like, just who does, and then have a list of things that you can do to fix your life.
Right.
Where does that happen?
So let's talk about the new year now. New year.
I think the big thing I learned from this morning is you guys are all equipped. You know what you have to do. And sometimes you just need that extra boost or extra reminder. And I think that was this morning. Kalena, you talk about your spreadsheet. You already had it. You fell off. You're like, boom, you start writing right then and there. Okovie goes back and forth on the ultimate travel trips, but knows she has immediate goals that she needs to focus on now.
Why she had to call my trips out like that?
Because there might be somebody. There might be somebody that needs to hear that. Like,
it's not that it's not attainable. Right. You absolutely, and you can go on trips. No one's stopping you. But when you look at your immediate goals, you need to determine which is more valuable to me now for my later life. Yeah. So when you look at it like that, you're like, okay, well, I can take a trip now, but that's going to send me back 2 months. It's not worth it now.
That, you know, kind of puts me in mind of, we looked at our 20s as the investment years, right? For the things that we wanted to do. And, you know, I can say, you know, now in our 30s, we kind of are living, you know, benefiting from the fruits of the things that we invested in our 20s. But at the same time, these have also evolved into investment years in another way. You know, different types of sacrifices that we have to make now to kind of level up to the, you know, when we were in our 20s, we knew we wanted to be secure, we wanted to have stability, we wanted to have actual careers, you know, and now in our 30s we have those things. And now we know we have new goals. You know, we have new visions for where we want to take our lives. So that new vision, you know, of leveling up, so to speak, turns these years now into investment years, kind of similar to back then, you know. It's just that we're a little bit more comfortable now than we were back then, and so our willingness is not always there, you know, to live that sacrificial type of lifestyle. Right. That I'm still, you know, let me invest again, like, you know, grinding back then in the 20s, you know, working 60. You did that already. Yeah.
But I think for that, it's, you're never, I would never, I hear what you're saying, but I have a different perspective. Like, I will always want to invest in myself, even if I have to start over. And I think that's a lot of our cultures. Like, if you fail, it's, you want out the game. But that's not what the American dream is. Like, if you fail, get back up and do it all over again, or do something different. And if you look at it like that, failure gets eliminated in any aspect, especially financial. Like, life happens. Your tires blow out, your AC fails, something happened that draws all of your secured resources. It's not like, oh, I'm just going to shrink and not do it again. No, okay, how do I hustle again? How do I grind again? Where's that new goal, that new energy for the next day?
Yeah, and learning from those failures. Yes. Right? Learning.
Because when it happens, okay, how do I secure myself from this? When it happens, that it doesn't happen the same way. It doesn't deplete me this time.
That is so where I'm at in my personal journey. Like, I thought I had my career and it was good and I was set. But then in the past, I want to say 2-3 years, it's like, yeah, I love what I do. I absolutely love what I do, but it's not going to give me what I need in order to progress to the way that I want. So it's kind of like reevaluating, like, okay, what are you doing? And can you do something different? How can you add to what you have?
Right.
And so, this has been a humbling experience to just be like, you know what, you're going to go back to school. You're going to get another
You're starting
bachelor's.
over, and you see a bigger picture from starting over.
And you're in your 30s. Like, you should be being established at this point.
But by whose standard?
Exactly. So for me, it was like, get out of your head. You can go back to
free
school.
yourself.
Yeah, and you can start over, and you can create a new reality for yourself, and you can embrace and do the things that you love with the current career and add to it with going back to school. So you can start. So the whole idea is that you can start over and keep doing whatever and adding to what you have. You just have to have the courage to do whatever you have to do, to whatever it takes. So it's been an interesting journey for me. I'm still in school, getting another bachelor's. Like, what?
But the connotation of how you say that, and getting another bachelor. You get another bachelor. Like, that's awesome. That's like such a great achievement. Like, you're back in school.
Yeah, it's crazy.
That's with joy in my voice, but you say it like, oh man, I'm back in school.
Yeah, it's dope. It's dope to me because I love to learn, but it's like, dang, another bachelor's? Like, what?
She says it like that every time, doesn't she?
Yeah, like, get another bachelor's, okay. Then get another master's. So I'm going to have essentially like almost 2 bachelors or 3, 2 masters and a PhD. Yeah,
and that's awesome.
And Nadia style. Shout out to Nadia.
Nadia style.
We love degree. Please, I beg. But yeah, it's dope. It's dope.
It's especially since it's tied to like the greater family destiny for your family.
Yeah.
Like, it's attached to something greater than, I'm just getting another degree because I just want to be a perpetual student.
Right.
Like, nah, like, it's attached to you and your sister's medical work, and then your father's opening a clinic in Nigeria. Like, it's tied to something big.
Dope.
Yeah.
It's like my dad was like, okay, I'm opening a clinic for you. Like, wait, what? Like, I bought it and I'm building on that.
No pressure.
Wait, what? You will go home You think you're not, you think, where you from? You from Nigeria? Please, I beg. You going home. So yeah, it's like, okay, that's my Ori, my people. That's my destiny, to be home and to do the things that I'm here to do. And it has to be done. So I'll get another degree.
Yeah.
I'll get a 2nd and 3rd and 4th, whatever.
Yeah.
Whatever is needed.
So that you can change your perspective on how you, like, the energy you project about it. You know what I'm saying? Because everybody know going back to school is hard, especially when you kind of have established yourself in a career, in a path, and then it feels like a derailing, even though it's not. Yeah. It feels like you're being derailed, but you're actually being pulled towards something greater, as opposed to, you know what I'm saying, being pulled off your trajectory, what you think. This is actually pulling you on trajectory.
Yes, Ashe.
Yes. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
And you can't know who you are if you don't take care of yourself.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? People, when you ask people sometimes, like, what is your end goal? Like, what do you want out of life? Sometimes people will just give you the blank stare. What do you want? Who do you want to be? Yeah. What do you want to do? What does that look like? What is next year going to look like? Yeah. And I remember I was reading Shonda Rhimes' book. What is it? Year of Yes? Y'all read that?
I read some of it.
It's really good. It was talking about how she always was so closed in and so used to just saying no to everything that she was missing out on big life opportunities.
Oh, wow.
Just by saying no. And she made the conscious decision to go a whole year and say yes to everything. The year of yes.
That sounds exhausting.
Right. It does. But, in that year, she discovered that, yes isn't a boogeyman. yes it can expand you and open you up to some new experiences, which you automatically would have been like, nope, I ain't doing it, nope. You know, and I find myself having to do that to myself too, because, you know, I'm an extrovert with high introvert tendencies and vice versa. I'm one of them people where I have to be ready to turn it on, you know what I'm saying? And then as soon as I turn it off, I'd be like, all right, I'm going in my room. Right. And so I'd be quick to say no on some stuff sometimes. And so that was a good book to kind of help shift.
I was so glad, me and Co, we're so glad you said yes to coming up here with us.
You listen, I'm glad to do it, man. I'm glad to be here. Hold on, let me see. I got some people on here.
Oh, hey, people.
Hey, look at all these people. Hey. What's up, Janisha? Mama say, cool, what's happening? How y'all doing? Augusto. Is that from DR? DR Augusto. Congratulations on your baby, Augusto.
Hey,
Big Chuck.
Augusto. You don't remember me, but hey, I remember.
What's up, Big Chuck? He said, who that woman?
I remember you. And hey, Augusto.
Big Chuck said, who that woman? Hey, Jalea, how you doing?
That's Ebony's friend. How are you?
How are you? Big Chuck, I'm in the mountains, Big Chuck. I'm in the Blue Ridge Mountains with some sisters. He said, who that woman, Harpo? Who are these women? You can't see because my camera's kind of limited, but there's a whole bunch of ladies here. We're recording a podcast right now. We're talking about self-care. We're talking about good stuff. Anybody on Instagram? Instagram play too much. Instagram don't want none of this.
Welcome, Augusto.
So yeah.
Oh my gosh.
So even though y'all are seeing me, there's other voices that are happening. We're talking about self-care and taking care of ourselves. In the comments, y'all put some self-care stuff on there. He said, hey, put y'all self-care stuff up there, man. Because we're going to talk a little bit about things that, you know, we do to kind of help, you know, take care of ourselves, ladies. And I wasn't on live when I said this, that, you know, fellas, y'all can do your own podcast on what y'all self-care is. I don't know what y'all self-care is.
Yeah.
As long as it's not emotionally draining to me, I'm all for it.
Yeah.
Right.
In a little bit, I'm going to talk about self-care using the 5 senses, which is kind of a cool way to kind of work on your self-care. But there, you kind of almost have to create a system for yourself to really take care of yourself, because nobody can take care of yourself better than yourself.
True.
So you have to invest that time and that energy in really making sure that you do the things that you need to do to maintain your sanity. And so we're going to talk about that via your 5 senses, and I'll kind of talk about some of the things that I do. I'm a licensed professional counselor. I work with clients, and I work with, you know, young people related to that. And it's just, at the end of the day, it's essential for your well-being. And so we have to create practices in our lives that maintain those things so that you can be sane, so you can be present in your life, so you can be present for your family, your children, and all those type of things. It's really important. It's essential.
Self-care is essential. You should have a list of stuff. I'm sorry, honey. Go ahead. I want you to go.
I was just going to say, for me, you know, this weekend has been, you know, really self-care for me, because just to be around people who know me, who love me, but don't need anything from me. You know, because I just being a mom and a wife, you know, you get used to, and then being a professor, you know, I have over 200 students this semester. And
what? Lord.
I have over 200 students.
It's a lot of churn.
It's a lot of children, and I love my Rattler babies. But you know, everybody needs something all the time. You know, if I'm at home, I might be on my phone checking an email or responding to an email, and my 4-year-old will be like, "Mommy, put your phone down." You know, so just to be here and to just have some peace and stillness and be able to just be Kalena. You know, we have all of these different roles and hats, you know, and so just to be able to be, you know, my sister friend self, you know, and like I was saying earlier, you know, while I was sitting outside writing, you know, that was just a dope, you know, experience for me, because I just haven't had that level of just quiet and serenity. But when you guys got back and Nadia took that picture of me, it was like, wow, you know, it's just a blessing to be around, you know, my girls who just see me as me. You know, she saw her friend sitting out there, you know, doing something that I've been wanting to have time to do for so long. And so she wanted to capture that moment. So that was really dope for me. Yeah. Something as simple as just a little picture. I know, girl.
Sweetness. Yeah. But that's what it's all about. Like, you know what I'm saying? Women folk. I'm talking to you, women folk. Listen to me. Get you a tribe together.
Yes. Get you a tribe.
You ain't gonna make it without one.
You won't.
Right.
You're not gonna make it without a tribe, baby. Get you a tribe together of good, solid men and women. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm a huge fan of the men folk in my life. I have some fantastic men in my life who show up. Exquisite men folk in my life who show up for me at all times, and who are supportive of me, and who tell me when to sit down. You doing the most, Adrian. Have a seat. But I didn't come here to do the least, baby. But it's important that you get a tribe of people together. I feel so bad for people who geographically are in a place where they just don't have, or at least feel like they don't have the support that they need, you know, and maybe they're there for, you know, school or for a job, or, you know, maybe even they're married and they had to move away from their tribe and they're struggling trying to find, you know, their people. But it's super important that you get your tribe together, particularly women, because we're just such social creatures who constantly need to talk, who constantly need to vent, who constantly need to bounce ideas and stuff off of.
In a safe place.
In a safe place.
Now that's the word.
Because sometimes men folk always try to fix it. You know, they be trying to fix stuff, and it's like, it don't really need to be fixed. It just needs to be expressed and cared on and loved on.
It's in a safe space.
In a safe space. It's a different type of experience. So, men folk, if your woman doesn't have a tribe and doesn't have a self-care regimen, your life is not going to be good.
Good luck.
Sorry.
I'm not sure which one of them. Now, who we came up with our theme: share, shed, and grow.
Yeah.
How did we come up with that?
You expressed what you wanted to do, and you said it, and I was like, oh, that's the theme.
That's right.
Yeah. So our weekend theme is shed, share, grow. And so we've kind of come up with some loosey-goosey, but like we've kind of come up with some activities to kind of work on those specific things. So shed, what do you need to release? What are some things that you have to let go of? Especially moving into a new year. We're at the end of this year. We have about 45 days. How can we shed that energy and move into a new space? And then share. What are some things that we can share with each other? What are some things that we can build upon so that we can grow into our new year? And so we have this concept of new year now. Since we're in the tail end of our year, we have about 45 days. What can we do to jumpstart almost our new year? Instead of waiting for the new year, instead of waiting, okay, we're going to wait till January 1st. What can we do now to make sure that we bring those things into fruition so we can actually see those things grow in the next 45 days? So we've been kind of working on those things. And this tribe,
y'all are the bomb.
This crew right here.
Official.
Yeah, official. So that's the theme of our weekend is to shed, to share, and then to grow into our new space in 2019 to bring that shit in this pop.
We're going to hashtag that shit, right? Yeah. Shed, share, grow. Boom. Right. So we're imploring Iyafayomi, Abudu, how are you? I'm imploring the women to get with their own tribe and shed, share, grow. Right? We should constantly be in a state of doing that. Like, this isn't a one-time thing. Like, oh, girl, we shed, share, grow in the mountains and then go home. right. You know what I'm saying?
Okay, girl.
We need to constantly be in the process of doing that. And this is a good time to, like, jumpstart that ideology and turn it into, like, a lifestyle to where we're constantly in the state of improving ourselves, of taking care of ourselves. Because, you know, in the grand scheme of the world, women are usually the first ones to neglect themselves, usually. Just because there's children happening, you know, and most women are mothers, whether they birth children or not. You know, most women.
That's what I was just telling Nadia. She's like, I'm tired. You got too many godchildren.
Listen,
right?
Listen, mothering children is a thing, you know, and
Come on, doula.
Because the one in my house is coming your way real soon.
Coming near me.
Yes, coming to a
theater,
a condo near you.
Right. What y'all do? Facebook, IG land. What y'all do for self care, man? What's y'all self care regimen? Big Chuck, I already know what your self care regimen is.
Please don't let it be marijuana and liquor. We need healthy practices.
Listen, I'm not here to conduct how grown ass men do what the hell they want to do. That ain't my circus nor my monkey. And if that if that makes him happy. You know what I'm saying?
And look, I'm just glad the legal tide is turning to where our, our men folk won't be getting locked up from, know, their self-care regimen.
Right.
I hope that's not all that they do, though.
You're right. They need
it can't be all
more than just that.
And smoke is carcinogenic, no matter if it's barbecued or in cigarettes. Or so let's just be clear.
Right.
Okay. But.
Right. They do got some teas though.
Get your tea,
edibles,
your oil, your edibles, and relax, enjoy yourself.
And have some other things in your bag, please.
And it has to be. I saw something that there should be a self-care thing. I saw something, I can't remember. You run across so much information in social media land that it's hard to even trace it back. But it said you should have several self-care things. You should have one that makes you money, like hobby or self-care thing. You should have one that is fitness related, and you should have one that's like just to relax, and one that's like really just for you. And I agree with that. So get you a little thing together and find that self-care thing that is one to get you some money, one to make you healthy. Like TiTi Talks is like a self-care thing for me. Yeah. Because I get to hook up all my electronics and run my mouth. But that ain't gonna do it for everybody. That may not be everybody else's thing. Somebody else's thing may be like you getting out there and writing something that's been in your spirit. Okovie, when that album dropped,
I'm sorry. Listen. I'm gonna need y'all to know I am retired.
You're not.
You're just tired. You're not retired.
Right. There's a difference.
I'm not listening to
Knowing
you.
the difference between tired and retired.
You ain't retired.
I will be your nurse practitioner. That's what my job is gonna be. Yeah.
So
they ain't no singing and no.
So
it could still be your hobby that makes you
according
money.
to whom? What is
That's what we're talking about. We're talking about a self-care.
I love my folks.
A self-care regimen that will make you some money. Singing can be that for you.
I love my folks. Shout out to my Tallahassee crew who know that I've been retired for about 10 years. Because I ain't sang since.
Whatever, I'm hooking the microphone up and she's saying Erykah Badu's entire catalog. I'm not listening to the shenanigans, not one iota.
Nadia, you quiet over there. You thinking about your self-care regimen?
That makes me money?
Yeah.
Oh, I invest in real estate.
Boom.
We have like a
Can we
real
talk a
estate
little bit
expert
more
in the house, by
about-
the way,
Listen.
who's debt free, who is just doing her thing. Like when I tell you my tribe,
She debt free too? Get it.
Yes. Nadia's legit.
No money owed, honey.
I love it.
Right.
I can still hear you, Nadia.
Right.
I can still hear you.
But yeah, definitely my self-care for an investment for me is real estate. I mean, that's my profession, so I have to do what I know. It's not necessarily something that's soothing for me, but it's something that's very rewarding for me. And that beats this takes me to a happy place. It takes me to a happy place knowing that I'll always have that residual income coming in. So even, like for example, right now I need to buy a new car. And I don't want to buy, as you mentioned, I'm debt free. I don't want to go and get another loan. But what I've decided is to buy an investment property with that money because I've been saving up for a vehicle. So instead of that basically it's to acquire an asset before I get in liability. So that asset will become the monthly payment that I receive to pay for a vehicle. So even when the vehicle is paid off, I still have an asset giving me income. That's my self-care.
It's like, y'all better
What?
listen. I need
So
y'all
much
to
knowledge just dropping it.
Listen, I need
I'm
y'all to
sorry,
pick up what
What?
the sisters laying down.
Ping, ping.
Is y'all picking up what the sisters laying down for y'all? That down payment.
Come through, Nadia.
That down payment is gonna. That down payment gonna pay for the car. Listen.
Are you listening?
I should have thought to you in April.
I will figure it out for you now. Okay? Please, I beg.
Listen.
Debt free.
That is the game right
That is the
there.
thing.
I
Tie
love
your
it.
liabilities to an asset.
Tie your liabilities to an asset. Hashtag
Shed and grow.
Right.
Yes.
you better tie your liabilities to an asset.
Listen, I'm learning. That's all.
I'm putting that in a rap.
Hey. Hey.
I was waiting for the lyrics.
Right.
I was in the vibe. I'm sorry.
I know. I was waiting on Adrian too. I'm like, where you at?
I'm sorry. I was right here with it. I was right here.
She over there dancing.
I was right here with it. Sorry. Tie your
y'all are
liabilities to an asset. Listen. That's why it's important to have your credit together.
What?
That's why it's important to have your credit together so that you can tie your liability to an asset. You know what I'm saying? Good credit will carry you, yo.
Yeah.
Good credit. I'm blessed to have really, really, really fantastic credit. I can walk into anywhere and do what I want because I have good credit. Everything changes. Even something simple like I just went to go get some internet turned on in my house, right? They was acting stank at the Xfinity store, yo. Always, right? So I get it. So I had to get in there and get the modem or whatever. And she was like, "I need your social security number so we can run your credit." As soon as she ran the credit, everybody was nice. Everybody
They trying to upsell.
Everybody was nice. Oh, we got. Hey, you need an extra cord. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I'm saying? And I'm not saying that to be elitist or whatever. I'm saying that it opens more doors. It opens them doors for you. You know what I'm saying?
And Nadia, tell us also what you were.
What's up, Amala?
You were telling us this morning about. Yeah, your credit is your first step. But then taking that next step into acquisition to kind of open up more doors.
What's up, Gian? I'm sorry. People coming on. Hashtag Preston Fly is in the house. What's up, G-Boo? She's got a book. My homegirl's got a book coming out shortly. She's going to be on the show soon to talk about her book. It's going to be hot. But continue, sis, because she over here talking about these coins. Y'all know y'all need to get y'all coins together. All y'all need to get them goods. Go ahead and drop it for me, baby.
So we touched on earlier, your credit definitely is important. And I know a lot of people, they stress over their credit. Everybody makes mistakes. You can always bounce back from it. But what I was mentioning is, don't be so focused on your credit. It's when you start creating better patterns and habits in your life, your credit automatically follows that. So if you focus on getting assets, it's not about getting liabilities, like getting a new card. And that's the whole concept of tying your asset to a liability. When you focus on getting that cash flow or that extra income or residual income, those assets look better to a bank than you having a perfect credit score, because you can have a perfect credit score and no money. You're not going to get anything. It's the first step. So if you look beyond the first step automatically comes, if that makes sense.
That makes perfect sense.
If you're like, okay, I need to secure $30,000. I need to save $30,000. In the process of doing that, you're automatically going to make sure you pay off this debt. You're going to automatically make sure you stop getting more debt. You're going to automatically stop lending out money to people who never pay you back, because then you're like, I need to reach this goal. And in doing that, you automatically see your credit follow that pattern as well.
It's good.
Listen. Don't let the tail wag the dog. You're so dope too, Gian. Thank you.
She has these
so
little
many.
sayings.
I know.
Don't let the tail wag the dog. She done told you the blueprint. She done told you when you clean up your financial self, because that's a part of self-care too. A lot of people ain't on their self-care because their money not right.
That is true. They don't know where their money is going.
And it's distracting. The stress of feeling like you don't have it all together.
But the thing about it is there's so many systems that are out there that can actually help you if you just adopt some small things. Like I tell people, I be on my Dave Ramsey shit, and it's very simple. Like, okay, sell what you need to get that little emergency money together, so that when you're in a bind, you have that, and then do the snowball effect, like paying off your smallest debt, so that you can then take whatever you owe from that small debt and roll it down. Yeah, it's just simple things, and I think that people think it's this daunting thing, but once they realize that they have the ability to do it, and there's so many ways that you can do it. There's so many tools out there that I think that once you realize I can actually do that, then they can make some progress. But there's so many tools. You got to use your resources. There's so many out there.
Yeah, we talked about using mint.com to kind of look at our existing behaviors and kind of patterns, like, where is this money going?
It's so funny. It's like people kind of like put their head in the sand and be like, I don't even know what's going on with my money. They know about every other aspect of their life, but they don't really invest time and energy in really figuring out where their money is going. Like, we hemorrhage money all the time, and so finding where those holes are and really saying, okay, I'm making a conscious decision to determine what I'm doing with my money, it really changes your life. And so I really encourage people to use these tools that are there. There's so many tools out there.
And this is a great time of year to do it. That's that new year now. We kind of think about these things and say, okay, I'm going to start on that in January. I'm starting that with the new year. Look, we got 6 weeks left.
Yeah, 6 whole weeks.
That's 6 whole weeks. Yeah, so that's kind of what we did this morning. We set up a weekly milestones for this last 6 weeks of the year, and then more tools to use. But go ahead, Nadia.
And just with that, as you were saying that we have 6 weeks left, the biggest money pit is Christmas. So it's not that you can't have a great Christmas. It's when you're trying to get a hold of your finances, you become more cautious of, I don't need another big screen TV. The 40-inch I have worked just fine. Or I don't need to outshop my friends, just stay within your budget.
Even decorations.
Last year, make them.
I saved a lot of money last year just using the same color pattern.
Don't buy your kids everything that you didn't have.
Don't do it.
You need to teach them everything you didn't know.
Yes.
Focus it there. Focus
That's awesome.
it there.
I like that.
Don't give them everything that you didn't have. Your trauma is showing, and it's like every time a new something comes out, you got to get it. And again, then the kid go play with the box,
and they don't even know they're missing it. Like,
no, they don't. Yeah, we love the excitement of Christmas, but when you see these pictures online of these bulging, it's no space anywhere else, in the room. You got so many gifts and stuff. Like, my kids don't know that life.
Yeah, they don't. My niece and my nephew, they are 4 and 6, and Lola is getting a puzzle, and Lil Pete is getting dinosaurs.
Listen,
and that's about it.
That's good.
They are not getting all that stuff,
and they appreciate it. Yeah,
but I spent all of $20. Everybody else is getting nothing.
They appreciate it. I try to build the excitement and the love around what we do.
Right. I was just about to say that it sounds like an experience for your family versus an exterior gift that's going to bring a false love. Right. But what you've created is mom loves me.
Yeah.
She spends time with me.
And we try to buy them, little things throughout the year. Well, they'll make, if they do something really well, or, that might be a Saturday outing, like, oh, let's go get a new toy. Or I'll just surprise them, pick them up from school and say, oh, I'm going to take y'all and get, a little toy. And these are like $10 toys. We're not trying to tear them all up. But so it's fun.
Relax on that for your kids. We're talking about self-care, people. Anybody who's coming on, I'm out in the mountains, in the Blue Ridge Mountains. We're up on the Georgia-Tennessee line.
Air so crisp.
Air is crisp.
Ooh, beautiful out here.
We've been luxuriating. We've been in the hot tub chilling.
Being our exquisite
eating
selves.
good food.
Exquisite.
I love some good food.
Eating good food.
Real good food. Them potatoes this morning was a banging.
Listen, Adrian.
Before we've kind of talked about but I kind of want everybody just to kind of briefly introduce themselves. I usually do that first, but I was having some technical difficulties and the conversation just kind of dropped off. If we could start with you, Sister Nadia. If y'all done miss Nadia, listen. Nadia done snatched every edge I had. I have not one thread of hair left on my head because she done got my financial life in order. She got me ready to take this car back and go get me a house. And then go back and get it. And then go get it. I'm tempted. So we're just going to start all the way up. Nadia, if you could just real quick introduce yourself and just tell us a little bit about who you are, what you do. Go ahead.
Okay. My name is Nadia Spence. I am a real estate broker. I've been in real estate since 2006. That launched me into open up my own company in 2012. From there, I've opened up an additional 3 companies, and I now am semi-retired and doing investing.
Debt-free.
Kobe.
Let me get your phone number.
Kobe.
She's your
Listen.
to be.
Sanctuary.
Miss Retired.
Right. At early 30s. Okay. Mid-30s, whatever.
Yeah.
You up?
Oh, me? You. Good afternoon, good people. I'm Okovie Lupo, licensed professional counselor. I work with a plethora of young people. I work specifically, my specialty is doing mindfulness and working with highly suicidal folks. I'm currently in school. I just kind of remixed my life, and I'm currently in school getting my my life and working towards becoming a nurse practitioner. So I'll hopefully have a doctorate in nurse practitioning in the next 3-4 years. So that's kind of where I'm at right now. But I'm a therapist and lover of life, artist. I also kind of sing, but that's another.
Did she say kind of?
Kind of sing.
I'm through.
Yeah, but just loving life, and I got a dope tribe.
Love it. Kalena.
Hi, people. I'm Kalena Green. I am an instructor at FAMU. Go Rattlers.
Hey.
FAMU alumni also. Oh, I know she's not in here.
She's a Seminole. Nobody cares.
STATE. I'll give you that much.
Okovie, my homegirl Gian says she's studying mindfulness in her doctoral program.
Wonderful.
Oh, nice.
Yay.
What's up,
Holla
Divine?
at me. I'll pop. I'll post.
What's up, Divine? I see you, man. What's up, Divine?
Yeah.
Go ahead.
So yeah, I am just loving my baby Rattlers. Like I said, I have over 200 students this semester, and they keep me busy. Mom of 4 beautiful, beautiful souls.
Shout out to the mothers.
Yes.
Hey, mothers. Mothers, don't forget to take care of yourselves, even if it means hollering at your girls and disappearing to the mountains for a weekend. It's giving me life. But mama 4, wife. I'm out here trying to write this novel.
Yeah.
Come on, Saints.
I read a part of it. It's really great.
Had a new character introduce himself to me this afternoon. That was dope.
Spirit better come on in here.
He came all the way through, so that was good. I'm gonna have to kind of capture him a little bit more before I go to bed. Yeah. But yeah, that's me.
That's fantastic. I love it. I am Adrian, also known as Ifawe Mimo.
Hey.
Also known.
That sound good. Say it again.
Ifawe Mimo. Ifa has washed me clean.
Cleano. Please, I beg.
Also known as Oguyemi. Also known as TiTi. Also known as Professor. That was a name given me by my brothers on Umbani Radio. They did an interview with me. I forgot what episode was that. That may have been episode 10. I'm a little confused on my episodes right now. Shout out to Umbani Radio. They called me the Professor. I have so many names and monikers. I wear many hats. I'm a podcaster. I'm a physical therapist. I'm a massage therapist. I moonlight as a professor sometimes. I'm a producer. I'm a doula. I'm a photographer. And I'm exquisite. AF.
Yeah, I'm exquisite.
AF.
Just in case you didn't know who I was. I feel like Erykah Badu when she says all her names down, you know. But yeah, so I just wanted to kind of introduce everybody because we got people popping in and out, but I guarantee once these ladies share this video, people are gonna be like, oh, shuck it ducky. So yeah, so we're talking about. Ooh, I ain't going back and forth with you, piglets. Ocean Keisha, how are you, sis? I am here with some ladies. We're up in the Blue Ridge Mountains. We're up on the Georgia-Tennessee border, and we had a little retreat. So we're having a conversation about self-care. Okovie is going to talk, about a lot of self-care measures and comfort measures. And if you go back to my doula episode with my sister Jifa.
Jifa. Shout out to Jifa.
Shout out to Jifa. We talked about comfort measures. And even though we were talking about it in the context of pregnancy and labor and delivery, comfort measures kind of rolls over into so many other things in your life, even if they're not related to pregnancy. Everybody has some type of comfort measures, and sometimes our comfort measures are healthy and sometimes they're not healthy. So we need to determine which ones are the unhealthy ones, and we need to make modifications for that. But the ones that are healthy for us, and even the ones that are a little bit unhealthy, as long as it's in moderation and you're under control of it, ain't nothing wrong with getting a little piece of fried chicken. Something. So I'm gonna give the floor to Okovie.
Just really briefly.
Oh yeah. Because
Kovie's going to help us build our self-care kit.
Let's get your self-care kit, ladies.
Yeah. So I mean, most of the things that I got this week, it was pretty much for these beautiful sisters that I'm here with. So one of the things that I love to do is talk to people about how to take care of yourself through your senses. So we have sight, taste, touch. What we got? What else we got? Hearing. And then we also have our feeling. Smell. There we go. That's 5. Look. Okay, give me a break. All right. So we're gonna talk about taste. So I have a couple of things that are here on the table that kind of talks about taste. So the whole idea is to kind of create a space or things that you really enjoy that speak to those senses. So I have a couple of items here. So for taste, creating a box. I have a lovely box that has wonderful affirmations on it, and I use that as a way to work. I have some things that I use to kind of work for those senses. So the first one is taste. Now this is candy, and these are my favorite candies. And so I have these Lindor essential assorted candies that I use, and I put it in my box, as well as the sea salt caramel candies that I use, and that's specifically for taste. And like I said, you can create a space where you put the things that you enjoy and you love, and you can kind of go to those things when you kind of need to kind of break away and say, okay, this is when I need to take care of myself. So these are taste.
Here, let me test this one out. Let me see if it works.
Test this out. So the whole idea is to create a kit that has the things that you love that are essential for you. Okay, and then I have this lavender. It's lovely lavender, and it deals with smell. And I kind of like essential oils is something that I use a lot, and I'll use it in my bath, or I'll use it to kind of activate certain things when I'm kind of going through stuff. And so one of the things I'll do is I may have a certain essential oil that I use, and I'll smell it, and I just kind of feel connected or whatever. So this is something I have in my self-care kit, which is lavender, which is a great essential oil. So I use that. As it relates to sight, I love to read. I love things that remind me of happy times. So I may have pictures of places that I've been. I might have something that just really kind of activates that. For today, I kind of have this book. And it's this new book that I'm reading. And it's called Children of Blood and Bone. And it's this book that I've been reading right now. And so this is something that I do. And I just kind of okay, I need to take care of myself. I'm going to go off and I'm going to read something. So this is a part of my self-care kit as it relates to taking care of myself in regards to sight. So I can use this. Something that you can also put is pictures of places that you've been, pictures of people that you love. It's all about creating the experience that helps you to kind of just reorient yourself and say, these are the things that I love. These are the things that I need to kind of take care of myself. So for me, somebody who loves to read, I use this. Okay, so it's a sight. Also, I love to journal. This is kind of related to sight. You kind of see when you're writing, you're seeing the things that you're feeling and thinking. And so using this as a tool is also related to your sight. Okay, so the whole idea is to create a kit or create a space that you can go to when you need to release or you need to really focus on yourself and take care of yourself. What are the things that you love? If you love Lindor chocolates, put that in your self-care kit. I had some teas here. I love tea. I'm a tea connoisseur. What can you put in your kit that helps you as it relates to the senses? So teas, if I have some tea and some good chocolate and a good book, when I tell you I'm good, I'm all the way good. Something that relates to your touch. These are masks. I'm going to actually give all these sisters some masks here to take home with them. And these are just some masks that you can put on your eyes. Feel good, relax, relate, release. That's kind of that thing. So you've got to find things that resonate with your spirit. This is for touch. And what would you love?
Say he stay sneaking chocolate in the movies.
Hey, that's what you got to do. That's what you got to do. Okay, so that's touch. Sound for me, I have my cell phone here. Music, I'm a music head. Yeah. So anything related to music, listening to things that just kind of activate certain memories, that's something that I do. So finding those things. Boom. Okay, Daniel Caesar in here. Yeah, so finding those music that really activate those emotions that tap into what you need. For me, I listen to a lot of jazz. I'm a jazz head. Or I'll listen to old music that I really, really enjoy. I'm a hip-hop head, so I might listen to Mobb Deep, or I might listen to Wu-Tang. Wu-Tang gets me there, okay? That's a part of my self-care regimen. So you got to find the things that help you. Find things that you love and put it in a space, put it in a box, put it into something that you can go to and touch, and it's tangible, and it helps you kind of get back to who you are. It's all about finding the things that you love and really engaging in those things. And when you're feeling low in your energy, you can go to that space and really kind of reactivate your energy.
All my people who are jumping on, we're talking about self-care up in here. There's a couple people that are kind of popping in and out. I'm just filling everybody in. We're up in the Blue Ridge Mountains. And me and my sisters had a bit of a weekend retreat, and it was devoted to self-care. And so we are just talking about things that we need, things that we do to take care of ourselves. My sister Okovie is a mental health counselor, and she was talking about how to utilize self-care as by way of your senses. And so she was just going through the different senses. And also a good thing, particularly for sight, particularly for somebody like me. Really, that's what we're doing. Okay, she's opened up the chocolate. It's the taste. Self-care. Hold on, let me see. I think I need some self-care. I need some gustatory self-care. God will bless you. She want one. Yeah, see, myself is being cared for right now. Salted caramel. So, particularly with sight, for me, is tidy surroundings. I hate clutter. I hate things that are disorganized. If I go in my house and things are not in order, it disrupts my well-being. And I know sometimes, particularly like for mothers and people who are just on the go, it's hard to keep your house clean. You got children. Because children are messy and they pull things out and they jump off stuff and they break things and they, but find a way. I don't know if you need to have a cleaning day. I don't know if it's in your budget to have somebody come in and clean up. Even if it's just something that you do maybe once or twice a year to have somebody come in and do it, I would say make that investment, because having a clean, tidy home, you don't love me, having a clean, tidy home is extremely important. Some people it may or may not be a big deal, but for people like me, like if I walk into somebody else's space and it's a mess, I'm not gonna be there long. A, right. B, I'm not gonna sit down. You know what I'm saying? And I damn sure ain't gonna eat or drink anything. Right. I'm just gonna sit there and be hungry and parched. My stomach gonna be growling, my feet gonna hurt, and I'm just gonna be standing up like nope. Listen, I've worked in home health care before, so I know how to play it real sweet. No, I've been sitting down a lot. I need to stand up. And I don't understand people who walk around their house with their shoes on, but that's not this conversation is about. Right. That disrupts my self-care. Walking around the house with shoes on. Why do people do that? Is anybody out there? Why y'all walk around your house with your shoes on? Take that shit off at the door. Stop that. You walked around in a Walmart bathroom and you walking through your house. Stop the madness. I'm back now. In rant. But anybody listening in the comments, talk about your self-care regimen. Gian, I know you still on. I know your self-care regimen, but I ain't gonna put your business in the street. It's all about the gym. My girl, you think you a gym rat. My baby G be on it. Self-care. You got anything else to say on that?
No. And I had my little candy. I mean, it's just really about creating what you need for yourself and being like realistic about what you need to feel like you're connected and you're just grounded. And so I have a whole self-care room. I implore people to create a self-care kit, like just different things that engage the specific senses. But I have a whole room in my house where it's just my meditation room. I have books in there. I have my favorites. I have my teas. You whatever you need to take care of yourself. I'm a person who's a healer, and healers and helpers essentially, like specifically, need that kind of thing because you're pouring into other people. But if you can't come to folks half full, so to speak, with your glass half full, you have to come from a place of overflow. So how do you get there? You have to take care of yourself. So don't be a martyr. You're not. You don't sacrifice yourself. Don't be a martyr. Don't. Take care of yourself. Make sure that you're good so that you can give from people in a space of abundance. Not a place of lack, but a place of abundance. And you're from a place of overflow because you're taking care of yourself.
Absolutely. My homegirl Gian said, take mental health days. Take mental health days, people.
Yes.
Take mental health days.
Yes.
Listen, I forgot there may be some cheering. Oh wait. Sister Nina Dunham said she's laying here with her great grandson. I'm gonna watch my mouth because you're cheering on, and my homegirl got her cheering on over there.
Okay, we'll watch her mouth.
F that job. Take a personal day.
Yes.
There is no honor in dragging yourself to work if mentally you're not there. There's no honor in that. Yes, I know we all had grandmas and granddaddies who worked 50 years straight at a job and never missed a day, never took a sick day. But guess what? They probably died with diabetes and arthritis. I'm being straight up about that. Take care of yourself and the stress of it all. She said taking breaks during job, healthy eating, running, working out. Don't ask to work out with me. It's my me time. Okay. I be trying to work out with Gian, though, but she too advanced for me. Serving my purpose, that's self-care for sure. That's self-care for sure.
Yeah. I like this kit because it's like putting all of these things together, all of your favorites that kind of remind you of you. Yeah. And being prepared to just take that time.
One of the things that I do, I truly came to this realization, I want to say about a year ago, that for me, obviously it's obvious, but for me it was a difference between sleeping and resting. So for me, before I even jump out of the bed every day, I lay there for at least 15 minutes, a minimum of 15 minutes. I'm awake, but I'm not moving. I'm just getting myself together and mentally preparing for the day. And I'll say things like, something is going to go wrong today. Be prepared for it. So when things go wrong, it doesn't throw me off. And I'm like, oh my God, this day is just going to the craps. And I'm so stressed because I prepared my mind. Something is going to go wrong. How are you going to handle it? And I mentally prepare for the day. And I think when you do that, you show up for the day. Yeah. You're ready for the day. And then it helps de-stress you before you even get to that level. That's part of my self-care.
It's funny, we were talking about that. Remember when I was saying Nadia is a master of adjusting?
Yes.
Yeah.
Because I prepare for it.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's all about preparation.
It's all about preparation. My homegirl said cuddles, hugs, and other things. And then another sister on the other one said that her favorite self-care is her babies, taking care of her babies. And you don't understand, like, physical touch, the endorphins, the serotonin, all of that happens when we're touched, when we smell our children, when we smell our partners, when we're being touched, when we're being hugged, when we're being loved on and cared for. That's extremely important. And it programs your brain a certain way too. Same thing with your children. It shapes their reality. My homeboy said, take yourself out on a date. Hello.
Yes.
I'm notorious for that because I'm single, so that's the only date I'm going on these days.
Go to the movies.
My 12-year-old calls those mommy escapes. Even if I'm just
self
going
dates are
to
needed though. My homegirl said, tell Okovie that she's making her a kit tomorrow.
Yes,
nice.
Make your kit, boo. I actually went to TJ Maxx. They have these awesome boxes where you can, they're pretty nice size. I want to say the one that I have is a 4x5, and it's really, really nice size. You can put your journal in there. I put my books. I have this lovely thing that I have, which you can warm it up in the microwave, and you can put it on your neck, and it's an animal, and it's just warm. And so I journal, have it on my neck. I have my nice love Lindor's chocolates, and I make my tea, and I just make it an event. So you've just got to know what you love and do those things that you love. And I'm telling you, it makes a difference.
Even if it's going somewhere too. Like for me, like color is really important. Yeah. So on those days, I'll go to, I love in Tallahassee, we have so many nurseries, that, so there's one in particular that I love on Thomasville Road, and I'll just go through there, and just kind of take a little walk around, and they have, the way that they have their flowers arranged, you kind of go through different patches of color, so you go from your, yes, and the smell.
The smells.
Love the smell. Next time I'm gonna take some chocolate with me.
But have your favorite stuff. Like put your favorite blankie in your box. Put your favorite candies. Put the things that make a CD for yourself. That's your favorite music, and play that, and just make it a day for yourself. But you've gotta find the things that you love that you can kind of tap in, and it's your personal thing. But I think that a lot of times we don't do that thing for ourselves. We don't take care of ourselves in that way. We're so accustomed to taking care of other people. We're so accustomed to worrying about other folks, especially if we're parents. So just really taking that time to say, this is me, this is what I need, and engaging in that thing. I really suggest you tap into your personal box at least once a week. If you can, try to break away for at least an hour once a week and really just do the things that you love. And it's something as simple as reading your favorite. You could have a favorite magazine. I used to love Essence magazine when they had really good articles at one point. I used to just love going through my Essence magazine, and that would be my self-care time. Like I go through the whole thing from the first page to the last. That was my thing, at one point. And so you've just got to find the things that you love and then really do those things to help you kind of get through it. And it's something you can look forward to. But create a space, create a kit, and tap in.
Indeed. Here, we're going to wrap it up shortly. Thanks, everybody, for hopping on the live. And the people who are coming in, who may not have caught it live but are going to be watching it later, y'all are in for a treat. If you're listening on the actual podcast, kudos to you. You rock too. Appreciate all of my listeners for coming on. You know, TiTi gonna bring it for you. We're gonna bring the bomb content because that's what we do. I'm smelling my lavender
over here. Nadia's looking at me like, "What you doing?" I'm jealous. I'm over here smelling my lavender.
I'm jealous.
I'm in my self-care zone right now.
And funny, to your point, the lavender, that's something that I pulled over from the labor kit.
Hello.
And now I just tap into my little lavender oil.
Listen, lavender is, I'm a lavender freak. It's really bad. It's really bad.
Yeah, me too.
Like, it's bad. Like, I have a lavender roll in my car. I keep a lavender spray in my bag. I keep lavender on my desk. I keep lavender in my locker. I keep lavender next to my bed. It's really out of control. But that's just what lavender does for me. And you find the stuff that do it for you, and you do it.
Lavender is exquisite.
It's exquisite. That's the word for the weekend, exquisite. Up in the Blue Ridge Mountains on the Georgia-Tennessee border with my sisters, we decided we needed to have a retreat. And what did we say we doing this weekend?
Share, shed, and grow.
Share, shed, and grow. So that's what this conversation has been about today. And yes, we're just encouraging all of our people out there to take care of yourself. Take care of yourself. Take care of yourself. Encourage your friends to take care of themselves. If you see your friends are struggling, do a little something for them to help them take care of themselves, because you know, people are stressed out. People got a lot going on in their life. People are tired. People are unfulfilled and uninspired. And we have to be able to have tools and strategies to be able to get back on track when we feel like we're not on track, because everybody gets off track. I don't know anybody who is, not been on track. I don't know anybody who has not been depressed at some point in time, or a lot of people I know, they have anxiety, they have so many things. The type of world environment that we live in, it produces depressive moods, and it causes anxious feelings all the time. And so we have to be able to get back to the square one, get back to ourselves, get back to who we are at our core. DJ Pilos, we got South Africa in the house, everybody. Hey, when you going live again, DJ? Y'all gotta hear him, man. If y'all wanna hear some deep South African house, y'all need to follow my brother DJ Pilos. He's on Instagram. He's on Facebook. Y'all find him. MPILOZ. Y'all find him. Anybody have any questions out there? We're going to turn this into a hashtag AMA. I don't know if y'all familiar. When I go live, I do AMA, which is Ask Me Anything. So people come on and just ask me random stuff. So if you want to, we're wrapped up for the show, for the actual topic right now. But if anybody has any AMA, you know what I'm saying? If in a relationship, it's important to be able to communicate when you're in need of self-care. You right. And so, hold on real quick. So when you're asked what's wrong, you're able to express how to feel and what you need. That's a good point. He had 2 comments. I just wanted to say. Go ahead.
So I guess my question is...
Sorry, hold that real quick. Because Instagram only gives me an hour or so. And so Instagram is about to cut off. So Instagram, as soon as it cuts off, I'm going to hop right back on, and then you can finish that thought, okay? I always forget Instagram does that. Instagram don't want me to be great. Instagram don't want me to be great.
We'll let you be great.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
I appreciate your diligence.
I want to shout out my husband.
Shout out to husband.
He's fine now.
Knowing I needed to get away.
Shout out to the husband.
My sister holding it down with the children.
Go ahead, Okovie.
Yeah, I was saying that how do you encourage your partners to take care of themselves? That's a good question. For people who are in a relationship or married, how do you encourage your partner to take care of themselves? Or do you know that's important to do?
Yeah, it's all about being in tune with the person that you're with. You know what I'm saying? You know when they're kind of reaching their breaking point, and you kind of know when they're a little bit on edge, when they're a little sharp, if they're a little snarky, if they're a little bit withdrawn. You know when something's not right with your partner if you're in tune with them, and you know, you particularly if you share a space with them. And so, you know, just be in tune with your partner and let them know, listen, your energy's off. You know what I'm saying? What do you need? Do you need to take some time away? Do you want to go somewhere, you and I? Do you need time by yourself? Do you need time with your fellas or your sisters if you're, you know, referring to you know, your wife or whatever? And so that's what it's all about. It's all about being in tune with the people who are in your environment, and then you can work accordingly. Hey, my homeboy just said, babe, what's wrong? Yeah, and ladies, you got to answer. You can't be doing all of that hemming and hawing.
I'm fine.
All that, I'm fine. I'm Don't do that.
I'm good, girl.
Don't do that.
Yeah.
Don't do that.
Baby, I'm good.
Say it. Open your mouth. Open your mouth and say it. Okay? Even if it's something like, you know, fellas, you know what I'm saying? Even if you're like, hey, I really need some Jill Scott right now.
Right. Listen,
that's self-care.
Jill Scott put some free game out there.
Listen, shout out to Jill. Listen, me and my brother TiTi is doing a whole show on the Jill Scott phenomenon.
Like, ladies, take care of your brothers, for real.
I ain't gonna do that to this microphone. No, I paid too much money for it. I ain't got time.
Ladies, take care of your brothers.
Take care of your brothers. Take care of you. Take care of yourselves, ladies.
He'll take care of you.
Put that in the kit.
Yeah.
You hear what I'm saying?
And enjoy it. Like, don't, like, if you enjoy it, he'll enjoy you. Okay?
That's free game.
Free.
My homeboy said, hey. Come on now. But that's real though.
Or
like,
did we just venture into the men folk self-care?
Hey, listen. I'm coming out of that realm. He said Netflix and Jill.
Yeah.
Oh,
That's the new.
That's the new.
Netflix and Jill.
It's Netflix and Jill now. The whole culture has changed by that old ass video. Oh my God, ladies, listen. It's ain't no shame in rubbing one out real quick, ladies.
Yeah.
Stop that. Stop it. You're grown.
Yeah. All the way grown.
You're grown. That's a great way to start your day.
Yes.
Is my mama on? Hold on, let me see.
Right.
Make sure my mama ain't on. I'm sorry, mama.
Right. Your mama knows.
I'm sorry, mama. What's up, Erica? How you doing? We have Colombia in the house. Hey, Colombia's in the house. My homeboy put the eyeballs up like, that's what we doing now?
Yeah.
Erica, we talking about self-care up in here. I'm up in the mountains. I'm in the Blue Ridge Mountains on the Georgia-Tennessee border with some sisters of mine.
Hey, sisters. Hey.
My homeboy said self-love, great way and it's safe. You right. Hello?
Holler at your friends and yourself.
Hello.
Just holler at yourself, actually.
You know, this is TT Talks. This is not Titty Talks. This is just a reminder for my listeners, because sometimes people, this is how I know y'all ass ain't been listening to the podcast. People come up like, hey, Titty Talks. You ain't heard a damn thing. It is not Titty, it's TT. Let me tell you how the Titty's getting me in trouble. I'm on the phone with a trademark attorney trying to get TT Talks trademarked, and he's trying to tell me that it may not go through because it may be lewd and lascivious. True story. True story. And then he pulls up the search record just to show me why, and I was like, oh no, this is not Titty Talks.
My 5-month-old is all about that titty talks.
Listen. Milky, y'all know how the babies do. Y'all know how babies do.
The milk.
Y'all better nurse them children so they don't come out cold and crazy.
Listen, he was so upset today that I couldn't come out of that phone on the video chat.
I know he saw you on the video chat.
Yes.
He was like, ooh, Nanny.
Yeah.
Wait, hold on. This is two-dimensional. I'm not feeling this. Right.
She's not coming out.
My homeboy said with coconut oil. Hello.
Hey.
Is he still talking about self-love?
There may be a little delay here.
Take care of yourself.
Listen, put a few drops of lavender in that coconut oil. Get you right.
Oh, not lavender.
Exquisite self-love.
Exquisite. DJ Full Effect. What's happening? Oh my gosh, y'all are fantastic. So if y'all ain't got anything else to say, we're gonna wrap this thing up. Thank you all for rocking with TiTi. I appreciate you. Please share this video, and also make sure that you are subscribed to the podcast. Right, it's on Google Play Music, it's on iTunes, it's on SoundCloud. I also have a YouTube page. I be putting all kind of stuff up on YouTube, all kind of really good stuff on YouTube. You just find me TiTi Talks. He said he got to explore that lavender.
It's gonna do you right, brothers.
Oh my God!
Take care of yourself.
My sister Janice said self-care is always a great topic. Thanks for sharing, y'all. I heard some really good stuff. Night. Thank you. Yeah. Shouts out to everybody that's on there from DJ Full Effect. Appreciate you. I thank you so much. Anybody else? Hashtag AMA Ask Me Anything. Y'all keep popping up and saying some really cool stuff. I appreciate y'all for rocking. If not, I'm gonna count it down. 10.
Love y'all.
9.
Thanks for having us.
8.
Holla at that lavender.
7. 6.
Get some chocolate.
Get your
5.
ass up.
4. I see hearts. 3. There's hearts going. 2.
Peace, people.
1. All right, we out of here. Thank you so much. Peace. Family, I know y'all enjoyed that show. Thank you so much for rocking with me. Make sure that you are following me on all of my media outlets. Make sure that you share this content if you enjoy it. TiTiTalks.com. It's going to be a fantastic year. I want everybody to enjoy this holiday season. I don't know what you celebrate. If you celebrate Kwanzaa, if you celebrate Christmas, if you celebrate Hanukkah, if you don't celebrate none of it, whatever you do, I hope that this period of time is a time of reflection. I hope it's a time that you're able to commune with your communities, with your families. And I pray that everything goes fantastic for you next year. See y'all next year. Peace.